There is more openness for people to receive, and it's thanks to the new children that we have too. So there's so many.
The new children?
The new children, yes.
The new children are becoming more open to channel.
They're a lot more open to using the other senses, so some of the senses that we are so used to are not as
How do we activate that?
We have to work on it, you know, whereas those children don't have to.
They automatically come in open. They automatically
have it, but maybe, you know, I'm talking about children that have like, they have a learning disability that may be labeled autistics, or that maybe, you know, they're just a little bit different than everybody else's because they're already coming in using different types of area of the brain that we're not so used to using.
These are the autistic children.
Yes,
so
not just the autistic, but a lot of the children.
But if a child is labeled autistic, they're using a different part of their brain.
Yes.
How can they fit, not that we want them to lose their gifts, but how can we help them fit into a bigger
Well, we
picture?
have to learn to kind of, for us, especially for a parent, to learn to be more in tune with themselves and trust into whatever really comes into your intuition. And intuition comes in through our telepathic abilities. So even saying that, just my brain's already just, I can feel it just swelling. Learning, most autistic children, you can communicate with them telepathically, where they are nonverbal necessarily.
So autistic children are much more telepathic.
Yes, absolutely.
So they don't know how to access this linear.
No, they don't. But they also are merging. So whereas they can merge, there's people ready to do that, and I apologize if I don't know the term, but you're merging the colors with the sound, where people can see, you know, or you smell something when you're hearing something.
I think that is called, what's the name?
Synesthesia?
Synesthesia.
Synesthesia,
yes, it is.
I think it is. So when you know, even those people, kids are coming to the earth now have a lot more of that. And
I was like that. I'm synesthesia.
Me too. Me too.
I feel colors.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's a feeling sense. So what does that mean, though?
It means that you're a lot more open. You're not using our five senses. Our world is based on our five senses. And we need to see, we need to touch, we need to, you know, perceive, hear, and everything is based on that. And I only believe only what I see. I only believe only what I hear, and I only believe my voice. I'm not really necessarily really interested in hearing the voice that I'm hearing up here, because that's considered crazy, right? So because of that, we automatically tuning off, or not being as much in tune to all our other senses that we actually have. And to me, and hopefully, you know, when I'll have it, it's coming. There's a book that I'm working on, and you know, we actually have more like 10 senses, but we're only used to.
What are the other senses?
Well, what we call intuition is one. Being able to telepathically to actually trust what you hear in your voice and tuning in into your telepathic abilities is another. And they haven't given names. I don't even call the third eye anymore the third eye, but I call it the third vision, because it's really another way of seeing. So we need to get used to seeing in a different way. Yeah. And
what does this way of seeing look like? It's like more a fuller picture of energy? Yeah,
oftentimes people think that they have to see, like if there's a lot of instruction on how to see auras, where they actually want you to see colors around objects with your actual eye, with your naked eye. Instead, if you're using your third eye, you'll get an image in your head. So it's a lot easier to actually focus on getting an image on your head of what the energy looks like.
Instead of trying to see your aura, I let the image come to me, and I'll get an inner picture.
Yes.
Oh, that really helps me. I get that.
Yes.
I can see actually your purple.
That's the third vision. There you go. See, isn't it much easier?
Yes.
And we are more able and more capable and have a lot more functions, and we can actually trigger to have a lot more functions in our brain, cognitive brain, if we actually switch to see things through our telepathy.
So, so that just really was an opening. You will allow the vision to come to you.
Yes.
Instead of trying to see what's out there, it's coming in.
No, because the only thing that it does is I need to prove that I can see, but that means that you're using a very rudimentary mode of vision, which is your eye, and it's connected to the brain, but it's filtered.
Oh, so we need to use our brain differently, right?
Yes, we do.
Is this really what your work is about?
Yes.
It is?
You know, I had to learn it through my own experiences, that I'm dyslexic, and I didn't know that I was until much later on, but it made my life difficult, very difficult growing growing up in school, and but it allowed for so many other things to be there. I always experience a world in my head that is just amazing, and I just look at anything and I can switch from looking at whatever, you know, how it's supposed to look energetically, whether or not there is something wrong with whatever, even if it's a tree or a plant. And
I mean, if there's like an imbalance in like a tree or a plant, what will you see?
Usually I always do that wherever I go. I always just scan the environment, because there's so much pollution and there's so much damage that we're doing to the earth in all kinds of ways.
You scan the environment and what? See what?
And I'll see almost like what you see, what they showed in the wonderful movie, The Matrix. You know, the energy is a little bit of a beady kind of thing that flows. But oftentimes I'll also hear it. So I'll hear the earth actually, or the plants, if I walk by and talking to me, and you know.
And if they're having a problem, what will you do?
I work, usually my guides will tell me, so I don't necessarily do anything without, you know, my guides telling me. So it's not my volition. I'll ask the guides and they'll show, and usually it just bring in energy, rearrange it. Oftentimes I work often into changing the energy of like buildings, of houses, to make it better, so that people feel better in their own homes and things like that. So the same as I can do for the environment.